Dormancy. Unborn sperm await in the spirit realm. Clear balls of light in the atmosphere. Being dead but dreaming before you cross over, not knowing if you are dead or not. Communicate with ancestors asleep till the resurrection. Plants, insects, and animals guided our developments until we left the garden. Now they try to help us remember our spiritual connection. Receptors bred out of us so we cannot perceive the underlying ultraviolet reality or no longer function with heightened animal sense. Dreams are a blend of death, reality, and the spirit world, plus alternative directions. One life ending doesn't end all of your bodies. Light is a spectrum bridge from death into the spirit world, as seeds out of darkness opening into the light. For seasons to change, there must be death. Some bloom too soon or late and linger dyslexic, caused by the offsetting of the seasons. Transitioning into reincarnation. The process is an emptying out of fluids, evaporating into an ocean of souls who waited out dreamingly to be born when the time comes. We leave our bodies every night and blink through our days, and sometimes are trapped between the physical and the metaphysical. Sometimes the dead sense the presence of one stuck in between. The connecting fabric is electricity or electrons transmitting omnidimensionally. A mother can still guide her child subliminally and send warnings through dreams and send us feeds and previews of worlds beyond and to come. Permission must be granted to enter the spirit world. Also, an experienced soul can withstand higher realms. An inexperienced soul can get taken over by inorganic beings, never to return to their body, seeing another's actions in third person. Others will think that person went crazy or is not all there. You must be vouched for by inanimate beings guiding your development along many planes of existence. This is why they say you were bought for a ransom from being hijacked and in bondage to the adversary. The tension of death, release. The tension of birth, release of energy stored and or fading, or checking out before the signal completely diminishes. Men die every time they have sex. Every bad action is a small death. This can also affect the future generations, which become weaker by over-reproduction and misuse of energy. They hunted down shamans who are guardians of the spirit world and serve as guides. Every day we lose links to the spirit world and how to cross over without losing the memory of ourselves, to be reunited with the home of our ancestors. The inorganic beings try to divert you to become theirs or to be born again in the flesh, which wars against the spirit. But that doesn't mean the flesh is bad. It is just an adolescence that some are fooled into repeating. And the inorganic beings feed on these bounties because they can't have a soul or breed or leave their purgatorial cursed flesh. When every world reaches its culmination, nothing will be left out and everything will be redeemed. The spirit is not eternal. It is ever-changing fluctuation. The ability to maintain efficient orbit and be filled with surprises, constant advancement amidst expansion and contraction. Nothing can truly be against creation, and even death is a deformity caused by unauthorized copulation. Even paradoxes are necessary. If nothing ever begins or ends, and everything is always reaching beyond itself. The grave is just an old tradition. Past superstitions pass away every day. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Views of life, seen, unseen, have changed. Views of death have changed. What appears an archaic world still exists in some tribes who still speak to the animals and are equipped with those receptors. I met a man who had a stroke who spoke and had one foot in the other side. Some glitches occur, but paranormal evidence cannot compute to the flesh. Just like a memory from a dream reproduces nothing like the real thing or credible. You question, was that a dream or reality? Because one cannot broadcast it through someone else's eyes. The omnipresent simultaneity of every plane of coexistence. A multi-channel simulcast cast of reflections streaming from a bottomless ocean that is also the generator of the sky. Everything gets a turn to be the facilitator of the never-ending game, in which no side wins or loses. The loser gains and loses. The winner gains and loses. Something that cannot be lost. There is always victory on all fronts in illusionary war. Someone has to make a move, or there will be an endless stalemate. In the reflection where opposites are identical, and nothing is what it appears to be, as we disappear into a dream never to wake, teleported and materialized. A blink can be an instant, a blink can be infinity, when time is shed, when we have adapted to the next dimension. We no longer have to be spoon-fed in doses, but can digest the greater picture we are blinded to for our own good. When death leaves the eyes and the breath ceases and a weight is lifted, in the spirit of abstraction unseen, undetected, yet there is a presence absent. We know something is missing, a sense of nothing being there, but there all the time. Once it is exposed in the ultraviolet light, behind the scenes, catching the set changing, arriving ahead of schedule. The trees leave their pose, everything carries on as it normally would. A surprise party once you part. Everything can stop holding its breath. It was a test of endurance. The game of hide and seek is spoiled if you don't play by the rules. It can't all be given away. Where will be the mystery in a movie that you knew what was coming next all the time? And if you review the real and see the background you overlooked, you'll see what was hiding in plain view. As you slow the footage, memories become distorted. The things of childhood blown out of proportion, revisiting things that have a deeper meaning now. The world I gave up, I cannot go back to. I often think I used to enjoy it, but my viewpoint has changed. Now a stranger heading into the next extremes. Once you see through the dream, there is nowhere to go, and you are exposed without the power to create your own dream. Even if you could, it would be premature and limited. Be careful what you wish for. Do not test the limits too soon. Also, don't overstretch, and know when to intuitively up your regimen. Cannot turn back now. Also, cannot hesitate or stand still in the valley of decision, because no one is on your side yet, and you have many enemies you know not of, and can be taken advantage of in the in-between world, like being doped up in the hospital against your will, like being a schizophrenic unable to control your actions, and a puppet for an inorganic being. Unfortunately, which to this generation ears will piss them off. But if you believe in a creator, this repulses them, and is a guaranteed shield of defense. Even if you fear death, it will be a warm embrace for all who have the spirit. The spirit cannot be studied for. It comes from childhood and perseverance. Even a godless cannibal can have the spirit. The spirit is a code written within that cannot be broken, unless you give up your will, which is almost impossible, except if you want to voluntarily. For those of the new flesh, only the ancient gens are trapped and cannot cross over, and create mischief in between worlds. Ghosts who never had a body or a home to go to, may even they find peace and eventually gain a soul. Revolving door between theory, proof, visible, invisible, calculable, incalculable, measurable, immeasurable, predictable, unpredictable, birth, death, known, unknown. The molecule which separates water from oxygen, the substance which bonds heaven and earth, dew forming in the twilight. Even if you viewed it unblinkingly, you wouldn't catch the transference. Demystification. Tangible, intangible, form, formlessness, terrestrial, celestial, mythical perception, alternative embellishments, real, possible, unreal, impossible, imponderable, imagination, manifestation, peripheral, out the corner of the eye, hallucination started by things that in no way can be what you thought you saw, or coincidental when, before, after. The tide may get a little rough, but your soul can't be touched. During the boat ride to the other side, inside out, all aboard. The revolving door does not move until the occupant approaching is detected. Flotation device, safety corridor, miscellaneous drawer, empowered and alleviated. The Great Suppression. Once the ice thawed, the cold king awoken from his slumber, forcing himself and overpowering the goddess of cultivation. An illegitimate child still has hope.